everyone. It is New Year's Eve as this video goes up on YouTube, and I thought I would start my new year by doing an updated Book of Shadows flip through. So these are the two books that I'm going to be giving you a quick tour of. These are the Notebook Therapy bullet journals that I received earlier on in the year. If you would like to go and watch the unboxing of these and my previous flip through, then I will leave a card over here and you can go and watch those. These books are not complete. As you can see, I've only got part of the way through this one, and I'm just over halfway through this one. But with it being a new year, I thought I would do a flip through just to start the year as I mean to go on. So we will start with the black page notebook and then we'll go on to the white page notebook, and you can see what I've been getting up to. Okay, so the black page notebook from Notebook Therapy. This is the front cover. I've never worked with a black page journal before, so this has been rather a challenge for me. I haven't posted very many of the pages on Instagram for multiple reasons. Some of them I haven't been happy with, and some of them just didn't look very good when I tried to photograph them, so that's why you've probably not seen many of these pages if you do follow me on Instagram. But if you would like any of them to go up on Instagram so that you can get a closer look, please let me know and I will accommodate. So we open it up and this is the first page. So I just did a kind of scrapbooking type thing with some of the materials that I've got. So these are my own stickers here. This is something that I printed online, as are these two. This is one of my own, and then this is a sticker that I got in a multi-pack on Amazon. Any of these stickers and things that I've used that I've actually bought myself, I will leave a description in. I'll leave a description in the description box for you to go and have a look at them yourself. If it's something that I've printed, then very likely I won't remember where it's come from, so. But the ones I can, I will try to leave in the description box. So the first page, as you can see, I just did like a front cover type page, and then in here I wanted to keep any little bits that I liked. So in here I've got a kind of like blessing type, warning type thing just on a piece of card. And then the next page I started to write what I've come to believe. So I basically wrote about when I was a youngster, I was raised a Christian, and that quickly dissolved in my mind, and I've kind of been somewhat of a pagan ever since. And then basically that I now believe that we come from the earth and that we return to the earth, etc. Then I've got a little poem here, and another one here, just like an affirmation type thing. My mind is clear, I know my heart, I banish fear, I invite love. And I really liked this page, so I just liked it as black and white. Then we have the moon phases. I did post this one on Instagram, but basically all I did was write the names of the moon phases and the magic that is most powerful at that particular time. Then I did this page. I wanted to do water magic on this page, but I never got around to it. And then here I've got an image of the ocean with a quote. The ocean is everything I want to be, beautiful, mysterious, wild and free. And then I did a bit of a colouring page here. This was just a page that I printed from the internet and I can't remember where I got it from. Then next we have the Evocation of a Witch. Again, I got this online, so you can easily find it there to copy it down yourself. And these images again were just ones that I got on the internet. Then we've got my birth chart. I will quickly flash over that. If you really want to get to know me super well, you can pause it at that point and look my birth chart up. Then we have my autumn wish list, things that I wanted to do during the autumn, such as baking skeleton cookies and having a Halloween party and that kind of thing. Then we've got this page, which is the power of trees. I made this little like fairy insert with glitter for this page because to me, it's gone. Because to me, the fae and trees are interlinked irrevocably. This is a leaf that I got from my local park. Then we've got the 2021-22 moon phases. So obviously I started this in November and I've worked all the way down to August of 2022. I've just put the dates in here for the full moons and the dates for the new moons as well. And then I've got important dates for the Sabbats. Then I wanted to do a page on casting a circle and I just never got round to writing it. I will probably come back at some point and write that. Then I just really liked these stickers and wanted to put them in here, but I couldn't think of what to do for the page. I might just do it as kind of like an about me section, but I'm not sure yet. I just really liked the art. Then I decided to do the elements, and I did them a bit differently this time. I used my notebook therapy stencils to do this like bamboo type thing, and I just did cards for each of the elements. So I just did the direction, the season, the zodiac, the time, the colours, the chakra, the stones, keywords, plants and deities, and I just made this little pocket out of card and they just slide in and out like that. Then we have sigils. So in here I made another small pocket and just basically put in my favourite sigil charts, sigil tables, whatever you want to call them, and then I made an envelope in here for any sigils that I create. On here I've got a gratitude board. I did this I think in October. I did 2 days and then I just forgot basically. But I think what I might do is go back to this and do it for December because music and food are still relevant even for December. Then I've got the moon names. So basically what each full moon is called throughout the year. And I got these stickers just online, but I can't for the life of me remember where I got them from. On here I've got some spell bottle or, you know, magic bottle type recipes. So I've got one for protection, one for health, one for love, and one for peace and calm. And these aren't all of the ingredients that I would put into one bottle. They are just ingredients that you can use in a bottle of that type. Then I put another quote in here. I really liked this page. I used all of these washi stickers. I will put a link in the description below because they are really pretty. But I basically just did a quote. The most important question anyone can ask is, what myth am I living? So I thought that one was quite nice. Then I started another page and didn't finish it. Then this was my Samhain, I release, I manifest type things. And I've written what I wanted to release and what I wanted to manifest. And I've put it in these envelopes. And I plan on not opening these envelopes again until next Samhain, when I can basically have a look back to see if I was successful in manifesting what I wanted to and whether I was successful in releasing what I wanted to. So we will see. Then I started to do like a happiness board type thing. Anyone who knows me will know that I love BTS judge me if you want to. I've liked them since 2013. I also put something in here about history because I'm a big history fanatic. And then I never got round to finishing the page. Then we've got my favourite herbs and plants, so roses, sunflowers, garlic, lavender, cinnamon and hibiscus. And then I made a kind of page in here. I did this page not long after doing this one and I absolutely hated what I did, so I used some like sticky craft foam type thing to stick 2 pages together to make a pocket, so that if I make any inserts I can pop them in there. And then that's the end of what I've done in this book. I will 100% continue working in it because I really like it. It challenges me to do things a little differently, but that's the black page book. And yeah, we'll get on to the larger white page book. Okay, so that brings us on to book number 2, which is the slightly larger white page notebook. I'm using the small one to prop it up because it's quite heavy and I don't want to hurt my hands. So yeah, so this is the front cover, the same as this one. And then inside this one, I didn't do anything with the first few pages. It's still got the notebook therapy information on the inside. I just never got around to decorating these pages. The first page in this book is just a Book of Shadows art piece type thing. Again, the stickers I've used here are my own stickers, and then this is watercoloured. Then my first pages, I've got my rules and laws. These are my own rules and laws, not something I found online, so these are just the ones that I have for myself. Then I decided to do an about me page, and I just drew out this self-portrait, added some flowers, and then wrote just some key points of things that I'm interested in or are, you know, part of my life, etc. Then after that I added in some envelopes. I haven't got anything in these yet because I haven't thought of anything to put in them. These were inspired by another artist who is shared by Notebook Therapy regularly. I cannot remember their name, unfortunately, but I really liked what they did with envelopes, so I decided to do something similar. Then we've got the moon phases again for 2021 and 2022, leading up to July. Again, I've just got the dates for the new moon and then the dates for the full moon there. Then after that I've got my Sewing correspondence page, so this is basically just all of the information that I could think that I might need for when sewing comes around. So obviously herbs, crystals and colours, tarot and keywords, and then just some activities that I can do. Then I decided to do the elements pages, and I wanted to do them differently to how I normally do them. So I decided basically to have the element symbols here and then have 4 of the elements just there. I also watercoloured and penned in just some of the symbols for each of the elements and kept the colours in keeping with the element itself. Then the next page that I did was candle colours, their meanings and uses. So basically I put in each colour here and then what they are associated with, whether it be in magic or just in, you know, general everyday life. Most people will associate red with power, which makes sense. And then my favourite part about this page is the spell jars and candles. I really enjoyed doing these doodles and I think they came out really, really well. Then the next page is actually after where I stuck in some pages. I can't remember what is on here, but I remember I hated it, so I just stuck my pages together. Then we have my winter witch list. I basically just did a little drawing or something for each of the things that I wanted to do during the winter months. As you can see, I've ticked some of them off and crossed others off. We weren't able to go to a Christmas market because of a COVID surge, and we decided not to go because we don't want COVID. Then after that we've got our natal chart, so I put in here a key. So your sun reflects your most dominant traits, then your moon, how you see yourself, rising, your outward presentation, and then here is my natal chart. If you're really interested, you can have a look at that if you want to. I don't really care all that much. Then we have palmistry. This is my hand. I just did it in black watercolour paint and just printed my hand on there, and then added in all of the important lines, and then did a key down here for what the lines represent. So your lifeline determines vitality, life energy, illnesses and accidents, etc. So this page, I actually took this out of a botanicals book that I got from a National Trust bookshop last year. I really wanted to do something with the writing, but I've not decided what to do yet, so these pages are still blank, and I will probably go back to them at some point to talk about a particular plant. Since this is plant-based, I'll probably do a page on a particular plant, maybe one of my favourites or something like that. Then I had a go in October at doing a monthly plan for the month ahead. I really enjoyed doing this, but once I'd done it, I did not refer back to it. I didn't look back at it again. This is probably the first time I've looked at it, so as you can imagine, it's fun to do, but it's totally useless for me. I do all of my organising in a little pocket diary, which is just easier for me. But I really liked the look of it, so I did my calendar here, and then I just had some to do, and I'm working with my intentions for the month, what I'm grateful for, and recipes to try. Like I said, I didn't actually refer back to this very much. I pretty much wrote all of this information in my little planner, so I didn't need to refer back to this, but it was fun to do. Then we have a new moon in Libra page. I don't usually do pages for the new moons and full moons. I do things for them, but I tend not to make a big deal of them because it's just how I roll. But I've got this pocket in here because I wanted to do a journaling piece about my tarot and about the new moon, but again, I never got around to it. So this is just an empty, pretty envelope now. Again, fairly useless for me, but I really liked the page. Then we have mini inspirations, and it was at this point I realised I'd done a few pages that I would never go back to. So I did a small booklet for myself made out of a letter from one of my friends. I made a small booklet for myself with like a tick list of things that I wanted to do pages about, and as you can see, I've started to tick some of them off. But I thought this would be useful for me because I could, you know, actually organise myself and actually go back to this when I wanted to. Then I tried a mood tracker. I would say I'm not a tracker person. Bullet journaling's great, but I'm not a tracker person. I tried a mood tracker. I lasted for 10 days, as you can see. So, yeah, it was fun to do. It's a fun idea, but it's not for me. So then I decided to just go back to the witchcraft stuff rather than the bullet journaling stuff. I have in here just some keywords basically about green witches. I really enjoyed doing the painting. The stickers are all my own, which are obviously all available on my Etsy store, but I really liked doing this page. It was fun to do, it was easy. I did it, I think, in about an hour when I had just some free time. Then next I decided to do a Hex Protection Spell. Someone on my Instagram asked me if I had one, and I had one, but it was just written down in a scribble, so I decided to do a page for it. Then here I decided to turn a quote and some more images from my botanicals book into a pocket. So in here I've just got a journaling card. This was a printout that I found online, and I used like sticky foam to make it stand out from the card. Again, I haven't completed this, but it's something that I will go back to at some point. Then the next page is my Samhain ritual ideas. I think I pretty much did all of these in the run up to Samhain. I don't usually do much. I do something, but I don't usually do big things for the Sabbats. But I decided that I would do all of these things just to make a point of actually celebrating. So we've got visit the graves of past loved ones, decorate your altar with photos of the ancestors, create a feast of bread, wine and seasonal veggies and share with your family, cleanse and clean your home, sacred space and yourself. Then we've got carve the names of your ancestors into a large pillar candle and place in the window. This is a really traditional thing to do, where you carve the names of ancestors into a large candle, put the candle in the window, and it essentially gives them a guiding light to come and visit you at Samhain, if that makes sense. And then we just have basically carving a pumpkin. So yeah, I did all of those things, which was quite nice. Then I have my fire cider recipe. I did make this in a YouTube video. I will leave a card up here and you can watch it if you are interested. Really good for colds and flus. Then I have just some more journaling cards. I haven't done anything with these yet, but I plan to. I just really liked the cards basically. And then I decided to do some tarot basics pages. I printed these from the internet. They are just cards that I found that I really like the artwork for. I cannot remember the name of the artist. I'm afraid if I do remember, I will try to put the information in the description below. But yeah, I basically just wanted to have the upright and reverse meanings of each of the tarot cards. And I didn't get to the end, so I've left the rest of the space blank to be able to add them in. This is something that I do regularly. I start something and I get bored and then I go back to it. So you can see here I did everything in one colour and then I came back to it and did it in different colours, so you can see where I've worked on this on a different day. So then we have a love magic page. I decided to kind of basically mix bullet journaling and my own style together. So I've used stencils for a lot of this. I've added my own stickers in here and I've made little boxes for each of the correspondence tables. But I really like this page. It's really pretty, which I think love magic is. But yeah, so this is probably one of my favourite pages. Then I have another happiness board. So I just included things in here that make me happy. So obviously I've got my tarot cards, I've got pictures of nature and the great outdoors, I've got some little fashion girls that were wearing outfits that I really liked. Got my herbs up here. I love bed, which I do, I'm not gonna lie. And then I've got some BTS stuff here because I am not ashamed of loving BTS. So then we have some Samhain recipes. You can see where I started to write these down. These are things that I've got on notes or in other notebooks that I just basically need to transcribe. But again, it's something I'll come back to later. The stickers, again, are my own. These were, I think they were free to use for commercial and personal use, I think through a website called Pixabay. So yeah, I found these on there. They were just like vintage flower and Halloween pictures, basically. Then we have a pumpkin sigil spell, which is what I did with my pumpkin for Halloween. Then we have pumpkin seed prosperity spell that makes use of the seeds from your pumpkin. Then I did a November page. I did this one again because I thought I would try again with the planning, and obviously you can see I never added much more to it, but I really liked the art. I did this one more for the artwork than for the actual planning. I really liked the feathers down here and the orange lights, and I added some glittery washi tape and my own stickers again. So then I decided to do a protection magic page. These again are my stickers. I decided to add some leafy bits in here because I couldn't think of any other images that would go with protection magic. But yeah, so this is my protection magic. As you can see, I've got general info, symbols, crystals, protection prayers, colours, and herbs and plants. So I really like this page because I know I'll be able to go back to it and find all of the information that I need. Then I decided to do a casting a circle page. This is probably what I should have done in the black book on the blank page that I've got for casting a circle. But yeah, so I decided to do casting a physical circle, which is where you essentially draw a circle on the ground in whatever medium you choose, and casting an energetic circle, which some would call a cone of power. But yeah, this is just an energetic circle where you just visualize the energy around you. And then basically I just added a to close where you thank the elements, basically. Then it came up to a full moon, so I decided to do some self-care stuff. I've said on my Instagram account that I've been not having a bad time, but I've been having some problems with like low self-esteem, low self-worth, that kind of thing. So I decided to do a self-esteem ritual bath and some full moon spell. So this was basically just to draw love to myself, not necessarily to draw a lover, if that makes sense. Then I decided to do a pre-ritual tea page. So this basically is a cleansing tea for before you do any kind of ritual. Helps to cleanse you, helps to cleanse your aura, that kind of thing. Then I've got my full moon bath salts. I actually use these to do foot spas because I don't have a bath at home, but it is a really nice recipe. Then I decided to do a page on crystal divination. This is something that I do in my daily life, basically. When I need any kind of extra guidance, I pull crystals, not just tarot cards. So I wrote out the names of all of the crystals that I have in my crystal divination bag and basically wrote the meanings for each. So for instance, citrine, try something creative, take inspiration from your surroundings, etc. If you are interested in crystal divination, I did do a YouTube video about it rather a long time ago, but I would be happy to include a segment in one of my vlogs if you would be interested. If you are, let me know in the comments and I can include it in a future video. So then I decided to do a charging and programming page. So this is basically just how, once I've picked one of these crystals, I charge and program it for the purpose that I have in mind for that day. Then I decided to do a black salt or witch's salt page. I went through a period where I did not use any kind of salt in any of my rituals, and then suddenly I decided that black salt would be a really good idea. So I included all of the ingredients that I use in my black salt and all of the ways, well not all, but most of the ways that I use black salt. I did post this page on Instagram recently, so if you want to have a look at this page in better detail, please go to my Instagram and you'll be able to look at it there. So then I decided to do a protection bottle page. I've I decided at some point during October/November to do a lot of spell work, and I felt like I needed that little bit of extra protection. It's one of those things, the more you do spell work, the more protection you need, because you're sending more energy out, so therefore more energy can be coming back into you. So I always up my protections when I up my spell workings. Then I decided to do a passion tea. So this is a tea that you can share with a partner, a lover, whoever, or just yourself if you're wanting some alone time. But yeah, so I included this. Then I started to do a methods of home protection. So I put in this home protection jar here. This is one that I actually want to do for the new year, so this should be coming up in a future video. Then I have a new Moon Banishing. So I did this at the beginning of December when I started to feel really low, and I felt like I needed to banish some of that negative emotion. So that's when I did this. Then I decided to redo pages from several years ago, where I did a page for each of the witch type that I relate to, if that makes sense. So we've got Wiccan Witch, Eclectic Witch, Solitary Witch, Kitchen Witch, Green Witch, Sea Witch, Elemental Witch, Cosmic Witch, Chaos Witch, and Traditional Witch. So these are the witch types that I relate to the most, and hence why I call myself an eclectic witch. Eclectic witch there, because I dip into all of these things. So yeah, I decided to do a page for each one of these, and I started with Wiccan Witch. I do not consider myself Wiccan, however there are elements of the Wiccan faith that I relate to, if that makes sense. So yeah, I did the Wiccan Witch, and then I never got around to doing the other witch types. Again, this is something that I will come back to. But yeah, I've left these pages blank. I've left enough pages for one page for each of these on the list, and I will 100% go back and do them. Then I did the interpreting your birth chart again. I've just knocked the camera. I went back to interpreting your birth chart again, but this time I included the Lilith, North Node, South Node, and Chiron, because I started reading a lot more into astrology and into my own birth chart, just for more self-reflection. So I did this page again, and I really liked this little planets artwork that I did. This is in acrylic paint, so if you're worried about a notebook therapy book bleeding through, it definitely did not. That is heavy acrylic paint on there, and none of it bled through at all. And then I think one of the last pages I did was Yule. Again, this is just the correspondence tables, and I used stencils here for the Christmas trees and my own stickers for the decorations. And then the last page in this book at the moment is my good night's sleep spell, because I've been having trouble sleeping, so it makes sense to make myself a spell working to try and help my sleep. And then that is it. There is nothing else in here. It's entirely blank, but there is less than half of the book left, so I imagine I will probably have this one finished within the next 4 months or so. But yeah, so those are my 2 notebook therapy books. That is the flip through for each of those. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give me a like on the video and let me know in the comments, and I will be super happy. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.